Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to the Choppin' It Up podcast featuring your boy, Jordan.
What up, what up? It's your boy, Eric.
And we back at it since 1905. It's been a minute, Eric. It's been a minute, bro.
It's been a while, man. Oh, my gosh. We've been out of the game for a minute.
Bro, Loki, how long has it been since our last video? I gotta look it up. I'm very curious.
And I think it was, like, it had to be at the end of the... No, I don't even think it was the end of the year last year.
No, it was... I feel like we started off... Well, dang.
It's been a minute.
I know it was way before coronavirus.
Oh, yeah,
Doing the thing. Hold on. Dang, it might have been last year, bro. It might have been since, like, the end of last year.
Let me see where we at.
Yep. October 21st.
Dang, bro. We have been out of the game for a minute.
Yeah, man. Look, you know, we apologize for being away for a while. Life happens. Things happen. We're all going through our own daily lives. And so I think it's important to, you know, still show up, man, and still have topics. We've missed you guys. I hope y'all missed us. Eric, I miss having conversations with you, man, and just vibing.
Likewise, homie.
Yeah, it's been a minute, but we definitely wanted to just come back and really speak on, you know, just what's been going on. We can't be silent in this moment. I think that's important for people to realize. We couldn't be silent, even though we've been gone for so many months. We had to come back and talk about what's been going on in America. You know, of course, we got the coronavirus stuff, but honestly, bro, like that's kind of been put to the back burner. You know, that's like, it's not even like a thing anymore. Like it's still out there, but nobody's talking about that. And I think the most important thing that's been going on is what's happening in the Black community, the police brutality, and just the people that are just so angry and showing so much hatred towards the Black community. And I think we wanted to use this time today to really talk about how we feel, what we're seeing, and really are just our reactions to really just the people in America, just the politics that people bring into it, and just how just sad people are, and really just bringing up the ignorance of others, of how they're just not realizing what it's like to be a Black man in America. And so we wanted to come today and talk and have a discussion. Eric, like I said, bro, I miss you, bro. I'm glad we have the opportunity and the time to talk. And I know we both have a lot to say. And so I'll let you start off and then I'll go off.
Man, well, likewise, you know, we're here, miss doing the podcast, miss just like, you know, being in that studio.
Yeah.
Just having to set up our mics all janky and everything. But man, yeah, I miss doing it.
Yeah.
Well, man, I just want to start off with just saying, you know, that we stand in solidarity with every single person right now that is just feeling the weight of what's going on right now. Because, you know, the Black community, like right now, I feel like is being targeted in very different ways, not only through police brutality, but like in the media and even like from our president, like just like demonizing a whole group of people. Like it blows my mind how quick people were to respond with but arguments, if that makes sense. Yeah. Like, oh, you know, it's like, oh, it's tragic that somebody died, but you shouldn't be looting, you shouldn't be protesting this way, you got to protest this way, like you can't be uncomfortable when you protest, like I have to feel safe whenever you protest, like, and just seeing like people thinking that this is about just one man, but it's like this is years and years and years of things piling up and injustices never being brought to light. And just like it just leaves you speechless, honestly, you know.
Yeah.
I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated at this argument about, you know, the hashtag all lives matter. Like if they just literally took it, it would take not even 5 minutes to just Google what Black Lives Matter is all about, and like understanding the meaning behind it and why it's important and why we should be talking about it. And I think to me, I don't know how there's even an argument about this. Like, there shouldn't be an argument about caring about your fellow human, you know? Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. And so the fact that there's even an argument here about like whether you should be supporting this or not, like, politics aside, like, people are so quick to politicize everything. It's like, this is about people. We're talking about people, not about a freaking political party, because even outside of America, this affects the Black community. Like, I think people don't realize that the world is bigger than America.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Super tough times, man. I mean, this year has already kind of come off to just a horrible start. You know, Kobe passing, obviously with coronavirus, we've kind of just been in lockdown for months and months and months. And now it's like, it's another thing. And then we have this. It kind of really brewed off with the whole, you know, Ahmaud Arbery, that video, seeing that. And then you hear about Breonna Taylor, and then, of course, George Floyd, and many others. This has been going on for years, for decades. And it's crazy how it's taken this long, and how it's the videos that we're seeing on social media. Imagine if we had no social media, bro. Imagine if nobody recorded what happened to George Floyd, or recorded what happened to Ahmaud Arbery. We wouldn't even be in this situation because nobody would talk about it. You know what I'm saying? We wouldn't have people speaking up and really just talking about what we're seeing literally on her phone. We're like, I don't even watch the news, bro. Like, I don't watch the news at all, but I'll go on my Twitter and I just see news. I mean, just all type of just negativity stuff that's going on. And it just makes me sad to how, just imagine how many people in the Black community that has been killed by the police that hasn't been recorded, that we've never even seen before, that probably was just as bad, if not worse, to what has happened to George Floyd and others. Like, imagine if we just didn't have our phones just to check and see what's going on. Like, this wouldn't be talked about. And it's sad that it's come to this point to where we see it. Some people have their reactions to it. Some people have their ignorance to it, their opinions, the whole yeah, but type movement. You know, those people, the all lives matter people. It's sad that there is such a, you know, the country is so divisive right now. How it's just so many people against each other. How there's some, you know, white people and others that are looking at the Black community like, well, y'all are just, you know, there's some people that I've seen some posts that's been trending on Twitter from just young teenage boys and girls saying, oh, well, maybe they deserve that so that they can stop resisting, or maybe they deserve that because they just, you know, or whatever. And I'm just like, yo, like, we're not born to be racist, bro, but it's taught from our parents and grandma and grandpa and stuff like that. Like, we're not born and we're like, oh, well, I'm racist. Like, here it is. Like no, nobody's born racist. It is taught. And unfortunately, our schools don't put all the information in the history books. They skim past what's going on in the Black community. It's a small chapter, a small section, to where they're not talking about it because they know that, oh, we don't want to go there. We don't want to go there with them because we're just too scared to talk about it. You know?
And like, to me, it's funny whenever all these people that try to make these butt arguments try to like misquote Martin Luther King or something, and it's just like, people like now try to depict Martin Luther King as this like everybody loved him and like you know, everybody was about him. And it's like, during the time, he was literally hated. The FBI came out and said he is the most dangerous man in the United States.
Yeah.
That doesn't say anything. Like, where is that in the history books? Like, I don't remember even seeing about anything about that. Like, it's always like, oh, you know, he was peaceful and all this stuff. And it's like, it's never about how, it's like America tries to whitewash history and tries to make it seem like, oh, well, we kind of did this, but it wasn't that bad. Like, oh, there was slavery, but, you know, and, or we, you know, Christopher Columbus came, but he was friends with all the natives. And it's like,
Right. Yeah. They go down.
we had Thanksgiving and everybody was happy. And it's like, we're taught these things in kindergarten. Like,
Yeah.
we're taught that, oh, you know, Thanksgiving is this really beautiful thing where we had Native Americans and these pilgrims, like they were best friends and buddies, without the whole context of the whole thing is that these people came and stole land from indigenous people.
Yeah.
It blows my mind that so much of what's in our history books here in the US is so out of context to try to make like the United States seem like the good guy. Like they were never the bad guy. They were never in the wrong. And it's and even like things with the Confederate flag and stuff like that, like the fact that people still think that that's okay. Like I was seeing someone from, I think Germany was talking about how they're really confused about the whole Confederacy, like pride that people have in the South of like, you know, this is about heritage. It's like, well, think about in the context of like in Germany, if someone had a Nazi flag and they're like, well, this isn't about hate, this is about our heritage. It's like, they made a really good argument about how, you know, if we weren't about it, we weren't about what the Confederacy stood as a, you know, country, why are we allowing these people to continue with this stuff? And it's just like, I don't know, man, that's solid argument.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's almost like we're born, we get put in school and they just brainwash the crap out of us until we come to realization of what's really going on in America. Teachers, they brainwash us with stuff. History, they brainwash with stuff. They don't want to be realistic about what's going on, what's really has been going on in America. They just want to brainwash us. And that's really what's been going on, is that people have been brainwashed by society. They've been brainwashed by teachers. And really only the strong and the people that realize that, you know what, this is not right. What we've been taught, what we've had discussions about with people that don't understand, they're just trying to brainwash because they don't want us to realize that they've done so many wrong things to us in the past, future, present, all that. Like they've done so many wrong things to us. And it's crazy how, you know, the land of the free and the home of the brave, we ain't free like that, bro. Ain't no way. We can't live free, because if we live free, we'll get killed on the streets by police, or we'll get lynched, or some white man will assume that we're doing something bad when really we just run on the street and we'll get popped in the head. How and we're supposed to be the land of the free? Come on, man. It doesn't make any sense to me. The cops are supposed to serve and protect. Come on, man. Like it has to come down to the hearts of America, the hearts of people. That's where it comes down to. There's so much hatred from these people. It starts from the beginning, man, and I think it's sad that we're in 2020, man, and we're still seeing just extreme racism, extreme hatred towards minorities, towards, you know, the black. I mean, it's super sad, man. And I was talking to my dad. I'm just like, Dad, like and he was born in 1959, and he's seen it all pretty much. And it's just crazy how history is repeating itself. It's just repeating. And it's taking stuff like this to be put just on our phones, on social media. And it's just sad, bro, that that we're dealing with this. But at the same time, in a way, it's like, you know what? Now we're seeing the people that have been showing that fake love, that have been closet racists, that have really, they will smile on our face, but really they don't like us. You know, they're being exposed right now. And I'm thankful for that in a way, because I'm like, you know what? I could have, you know, have gotten advice from that person, or, you know, I could have said some things about my personal life to that person, but really I couldn't even trust them no more, because they're showing who they really are. And I think we're living in those times where there's a lot of silent people right now. There's a lot of people that just are scared to speak up.
Yeah.
Because they know where their heart is, and they're just afraid to. If you're silent, if you're not speaking up, if you're not talking to your friends and your family members, and they're racist and they're prejudiced and they have this ill will in their heart, and you don't say anything to them, you're just as racist as them. I'm just keeping it 100. You're just as racist as them. And just to let them say those things and to look at us differently because of the color of our skin, it's sad. It really is sad, man. And you know, it's hard to, you know, of course you want to stay positive, but it's hard to do that because you go on Facebook and you just see so many ignorant comments and just insensitive comments about what's going on, about how this is not racism, this is just police brutality. It's both. 100% is both. And it's deeper than that. It's deeper than that. And I think those people need to be called out. They need to be put on Front Street. Like, you know what? You need help. We need to teach you what our history is. Just because you know, because there's teachers that I know back in high school, middle school, that were low-key closet racist. And like, you don't really recognize it because you're so young. But then over time, you're like, dang, she was really like that. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like it takes a little bit of time for it to click, but then you realize, like, wow, like low key, man, she wasn't really down for us like that. You know, and so it's a lot of people are getting exposed, man. Also, too, a lot of people are still siding with the All Lives Matters. They're saying, you know, we feel so sorry for George Floyd. We hope the cop gets the max of everything, but it's not racism, y'all. Let's not put that race card. Let's not put that race card stamp on that paper. This is just police brutality. Like, you can't say the cop wasn't racist. You can't say the other, you know, black men have been killed, black men and women have been killed, that it wasn't a racist hate crime. Like, it's sad to see that because they're still missing the point. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They're still missing the overall situation that's been going on. And people like that, I it's hard, man, to see that. It really is. Because that you know, they'll be the same people that will shake your hand, say, hey man, how are you doing? Or they'll smile in your face and show that fake love all day. But really behind closed doors, man, they are wanting to backstab us. They wanted to turn on us and not be there for us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it's disappointing, man. It really is, bro. Just how, you know, and also too, man, how I have to almost fear for my life when I leave the house. When I feel like, man, I could be getting pulled over and literally I can be shaking, bro, because I'm scared and the cop thinks I have a gun on me or I'm going to hurt him or something. Like, I shouldn't have to fear for my life, bro, when I'm getting pulled over. If I went 5 over, if I went 10 over, whatever, I missed a stop sign and I take my L, that's fine. But I shouldn't feel like when I get pulled over, bro, it's like, oh man, am I going to die today? Like, is this my time? Like, do I need to, like, it's almost like we have to record everything. We have to record when we get pulled over. Like, it's sad that it comes to that point because we have to have somebody else to see what's going to potentially happen to us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
And that's super sad, bro. Like, it sucks, man, that, you know, as a black man that's an entrepreneur and wants to be in business and have many other businesses, how I have to fight 40 times, 50 times as harder as a white man just because of my skin color. You know what I'm saying? How I might not be able to get some loans, or I might not, you know, I might have a few less white customers because they just don't want to buy from me. just because I'm a black man. Like it's so much deeper, bro. It's so much deeper.
It is. People
It's
don't
crazy.
understand that, man. Like, to me, like these arguments are so easily you can defeat these arguments that a lot of people are saying. Like, the one that really frustrates me is like, well, why aren't we talking about black on black crime, or why aren't we talking about how this or that? It's like, do you not understand? Like, the foundation of America has been skewed from the very beginning for people of color to not be able to succeed here. Like, during, I don't want to misquote the year, but I want to say it was like the 50s. I want to say that that whenever Black or Latino people were trying to get a loan, they were actually denied at a lot of banks, and they were actually redlining certain areas for people to not be able to get loans, and the housing market like was awful there. And so like it stems from like not even being able to get a house somewhere. Like, and then people are like, well, you know, it's an education thing. Well, how do schools get money? Through local taxes.
Yeah.
Where do those local taxes come from? From the community, from the houses. So if you're not going to be able to allow these people to get proper housing, and then their school is going to be affected, and then you have like the introduction of prisons and like privatized prisons that they make money off of people going to prison. So you want this cycle to continue, and so you have this continuous cycle of people like being poor, being marginalized, and then going to prison, and then coming out at, you know, because they had this super small like nonviolent crime or whatever it is, and now they can't get a job because they're felons. They have a record. It's like, how do you expect to stop that cycle if no one's helping? And it's just like, it blows my mind that people don't see how skewed life is for people of color here.
Yeah.
And man, it just frustrates me. Makes it whenever, you know, I hear you say something like, sorry, drop my ring. Whenever I hear you say stuff like, man, I shouldn't be scared for my life whenever I get pulled over, like that should ring like so loud in people's lives and people's hearts, like that you would have to feel like that, you know? Like, I don't know how people can be so insensitive to those things. That I don't understand, man, because and it's because they've never gone through anything that would cause them to, you know, to care, I guess, because you know, if it doesn't affect me, it's fine. And it's just like, it's not how life works, you know. It's more than just about you and your, you know, white picket fence that you got to be brought up on.
Yeah, there's a lot of oh well, sucks for them type people.
Yes.
There's a lot of, well, that sucks, but I can't do nothing about it type people.
Or, hey, just work hard. If you work hard, it's like I hear this all the time. It's like, well, it's not about race. It's about how hard you work, or, you know, you just got to work hard, and then everything will be all right. It doesn't matter if you're black or white or Latino or whatever. It's like, if you just work hard, you'll be fine. And it's just like, no, that's not the case, because we've seen historically that just because you are a person of color, you are less likely to get the same exact thing that somebody that is white.
Yeah.
Like, blows my mind.
Yeah, no, so there is a movie that came out. It's on Apple TV. It's called The Banker. I don't know if you've seen previews for it. I've heard about it.
I think so. I haven't really messed with Apple TV that much.
So I'm gonna have to just like send you my info, because I have it free for like until November of this year. It's like free for 12 months starting from last year. But I want you to watch it, bro, because it literally just talks about, and I think it kind of was going with what you were saying about the housing market back in the 50s, really before that, about how that we will just basically discriminated if we wanted to get a house. And eventually they passed the Fair Housing Act, which pretty much say they can't discriminate when a black man or a minority wants to buy a house or whatever. But kind of the basis of the movie, and I'm not going to really get into it because I think it's important for people to see it, but it's just two black entrepreneurs, man, that, were real estate investors, and pretty much they had to hire a white man to kind of be the face of the company in a way, basically doing what they would do, but to kind of be the CEO of the company, to kind of just, work with other people to get investments and to buy out homes to flip, or to buy out homes to just have a rental property. Because as a black man, they couldn't do that. They couldn't do those things, besides a white man. They had to actually hire a white man to do the things for them, because if they eventually ended up doing it, they would just be all turned down. And they had a successful business, but things kind of went downhill. And y'all just have to see, Eric, you'll have to see what happened. But they really just talks about how we couldn't do the things that we wanted to do back then because of our skin color. We couldn't invest in real estate. We couldn't start businesses. We couldn't have our own banks. We couldn't have our own grocery store. We couldn't have this and that because we're not gonna get no funding. The black community will show up, but then some white man will burn it down or do whatever. It's sad, man, that it is like that. And that movie really put it was like a history movie for me. It was a lot of history that I didn't even know about, and I still need to learn. But for me, man, as a black entrepreneur that wants to have businesses, that wants to strive in the business world, that movie spoke so much volume to me because it's important to realize where my family came from, to what they had to deal with. And when I saw that, man, I just really just want people to watch that, because it's really going to speak volumes to how hard it is for us to get to where we want to go. But for the white man, it's just so easy for them to get to where they want to go, And so it's sad, man, that, like I said, I have to fear that I have to literally go beyond and just do 100 times more than the white man to get what just one little hour of hard work for a white man to get. And then it's unbelievable to me. And I'm saddened for America, man. It's almost like I'm disappointed to be in America, bro. Like seriously, it's like, we get taught about how great America is. And of course, man, we live in a blessed place, but at the same time, it's almost like it's not even for us anymore. It's not even for, it wasn't destined for us. We just happened to be here. And I think I shouldn't have to just be so angry, man, to get to where I want to go. As long as we work hard, we connect with others, we network. It should be just as easy as everybody else, but unfortunately it's not. But I think it motivates me, man, to really realize that not everybody's your friend, that not everybody's gonna be in your corner, that you will be backstabbed, but you can power through it, because our ancestors did. They powered through it, bro, and they came through the darkest of times. And I think I just hope, man, that this just preaches to people, to racists, to anybody that's racist, that, man, like, we need to do better. We need to come together as a community. We need to come better together as a human race. There's no need to hate somebody because of their skin color. There's just not. And I think we're at that point again, to where, like I've been saying, man, there's a lot of closet racists, a lot of people that are silent. We need to teach them our history. We need to teach them what it's like to be a black man. Obviously, they will never understand because they're not going to be in our shoes. But they need to understand the history, and really, bro, it makes me mad when people bring up the whole, they bring up politics into this life event. I'm like, bro, politics ain't got nothing to do with this. This is just actual real life humans, a black man getting killed, bro. Like this has nothing to do with Donald Trump or whoever. This has nothing to do with that. Is Donald Trump helping? Absolutely not.
Hell no.
No. And so it's like, and you got people that are saying, man, oh, Donald Trump is doing the right thing. He's doing this and that. But I come on, man. Let's just be realistic here. No, really, honestly, a lot of people in politics are not helping. I'm not gonna say all, but a lot of them are not helping. And so it's just like, let's not put politics into this. Let's not do that, because they're already as corrupt, as it is. So let's not put politics into it. Let's put a black man and a white man and say, you know what, you can't be killing us like this anymore. This is enough. Enough is enough at this point. Yes, Black Lives Matter, and I think what's important people to realize is that when we say Black Lives Matter, it's not like we're saying white lives don't matter, Hispanic lives doesn't matter, any other race doesn't matter. Obviously, all human races matter, but at this moment, with all this that's going on, it's almost like we're getting looked at we don't matter anymore by some people, and that's why we're pushing that initiative that Black lives do matter, because we're getting killed. We're getting put in prison and in jail for small little minuscule things, and the white man gets a slap on the wrist. You know what I'm saying? Like we matter. We are important, and I think that's just super important, man, for people to realize that we're just such a divisive country. In politics, it's a huge play in that. But if the people didn't just depend on politics so much, I feel like it would be such a better place, bro. But with that said too, it comes down to the heart of the people. And I just pray, man, that through all this time right now where a bunch of white people are very uncomfortable, which is good because they need to speak up. They need to feel uncomfortable because they've been comfortable for centuries, forever, because they never had to deal with anything. They need to be uncomfortable now. Now's the time for them to be like, dang, this is awkward. Like, they need to go through this. They need to see what it's like. And I think we're finally getting to that point. But this conversation needs to continue.
Oh, yeah.
Forever, because we can't have all of that's going on, and then next week we just go back to our daily lives. Or when sports come back, we're just like, oh, well, we got basketball now, so we have more else to talk about. Like, no, this conversation needs to keep going. It needs to keep happening. We need to still protest peacefully and just do whatever we can to reach out to people. But we can't go, there's no need for silence anymore. Silence is not going to win. Us speaking up, us bringing awareness, us voting for the right people, that's important, man. I think this generation has the people to do it. We're smart, but we need to get rid of all of this stuff, man, because it's hurting America, it's hurting us, hurting the Black community, and it's not making anything better. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah man, I'm just, it's a trip, bro. It's a trip, man.
Man, I think you said it all perfectly, man. Like, it's frustrates me that people think that, like, it's a political thing. Like, oh, these Democrats or all these Republicans or all these whatever. It's like, man, it doesn't matter which party you stand on. To them, it don't matter.
It don't matter at all.
Like, I just, it's frustrating, man, honestly, that how politics is so intertwined with everything, and how people think that, like, oh, it's always there these, like, and like, let's just say how it is, man. It's a lot of conservatives that think that liberals and Democrats are the ones that are evil.
Yeah.
Just like, have you seen the people that are a part of your party, the things that they say?
Right.
Have you seen what your president says?
Yeah.
Like, it frustrates me. And like, people, it's funny because, and I don't care. I tweeted, I said, them red hats real quiet right now. Because just a couple weeks ago, they were all about, hey, we need a protest. We need to start telling the city what to do, and like, well, they need to open up, and I need to get this haircut, and I want to go to Chili's and buy a burger and sit down. But like, oh, it's like you're impeding in my rights, whatever that word is. You're making me not be able to do these things. But it's like, where are you whenever there's literal things that matter, like lives? There's human lives, not your haircut, Sally, not your freaking Chili's burger, Karen. Like, there's people out here dying, and you're worried about getting a haircut.
Yeah.
And like, it frustrates me that they got no backlash. The president was just like, hey, these people they're good people. They just want their lives back. It's like, are you kidding me? These people had freaking like army style weapons. There's videos. They were pushing on the police. They were yelling at City Hall. Some of these videos, they were yelling at City Hall and there was nobody there because they were all at home. It's just like, it makes no sense that these people have the ability to do all that. And, you know, they were white. They were trying to, it's just the irony in that thing, I feel like gets lost with these people.
Yeah.
Like, they're so quick to say, hey, just follow the rules, just follow the law and you'll be okay. Just follow the rules and you'll be okay. It's just like, tell that to every person that is being killed by just doing everything that they're saying to do.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah,
like you were saying, you get stopped, you're going over the speed limit 5 or whatever, you take your L, but it's like, you can't just do that, you know?
Yeah.
But they expect you to be like, well, if you just talk to the officer nicely and if you
right,
like, it's gonna be okay. It's like, no, there is a system that has been built on racial inequality, and that's the freaking foundation that it has been built on. You don't think it weeds itself through all of these policies that are being made, all of these police precincts and all this stuff? Like, you don't think that all that permeates everywhere? Like, this country was built on atrocities and on racial inequality, like the core, at its core. So how do you think that just by, oh, well, we did, we freed the slaves, everything's okay? But it's like, after they did that, what did they start doing? They started policing things and started like making it to where Black people didn't count still. And then like, it's just crazy to me to think that like, we think that just because the civil rights movement happened that everything's okay. Like, I look at like South Africa, like with apartheid and everything, like there was massive things that happened at post that they, and I think Trevor Noah talked about it, how they dealt with it a better way because they had some reparations and stuff like that, and they acknowledged their past and that they were awful. And like that, I don't think that's something that America has ever gone through. Like, they've never like acknowledged how messed up this country was from the very beginning, how many atrocities they've committed, how many war crimes they've committed, how many people they disenfranchised. And like, they're just like, oh, well, everything's okay now. Like, we passed these things and these policies, we should be good. And it's just like, no, you still have never acknowledged these other things. So, and you expect like us to just get over it like that? Like, there's a reason why people still hold on to these old ideas. Is because the United States has never like actually dealt with it. They've just coped with it.
Yeah.
Like, it blows my mind that like how like what I said earlier, like how people don't realize that the FBI, like the federal government said Martin Luther King was the most dangerous man in the United States at one point. And then people try to say there's no such thing as racism now.
Yeah, there seems to be a disagreement with people, a lot of people about racism. I'm like, what is there to disagree about? Like, what is there to be angry about? Why is there so much anger in regards to racism? It doesn't make sense to me. It's being put on video, multiple videos, multiple stories, multiple actions. I'm sure you've seen, bro, these young white boys that were basically doing the whole George Floyd thing. Have you seen that?
The ones that were like starting the looting and stuff like that. Or?
Well, there was, you know, there'll be two white boys that was the cop. One was a cop, and then one was George Floyd, and they'll be kneeling on that person's neck.
Oh, you're talking about like that stupid TikTok trend or whatever that happened, where they were trying the George Floyd challenge.
Yeah, there's the trend of that, but there's pictures of these white kids that are doing the whole George Floyd stuff. I'm just like, yo, really? Like, seriously?
Like, I mean, it's a joke to them.
Right. It's a joke to them. And it's like, man, it's unbelievable, bro, how that still doesn't ring a bell to people in the white community. Seriously. Yeah.
That there's like, the racism is still very alive and very like, and it's thriving in places. Like you have, and like I was saying, I forgot who I was talking to, but I said like it's like whenever Trump became president, people felt empowered to be racist, or like they felt like, oh, I can come out now.
Yeah, I'm good now. Obama's out. I'm good.
I'm good. Hey, Trump said it's cool. Trump said it's cool. We good. We got him.
Yeah.
It's just like when you have a president calling my people rapists and murderers and like that's all they are. Like, you don't think those words are like, you don't like, it just blows my mind how people don't think that calling a group of people those things like doesn't mean anything, especially being like the president of the United States. Like, the power of your words are so heavy, yet people are just like, oh, well, you know, here's the statistics, here's the stats, here's the it's like, okay, but you're ignoring the fact that these are people.
Yeah.
Like, there's a, like, how is it that the statistic is that 1 in 17 white males will end up in prison, but yet it's 1 in 3 black males will end up in prison? Yep. How's, like, does that not seem like a very different percentage? Very, like, there's something there. Like, people are so blind to these things, like they want to pretend it's not real. It's like, and it's what you were saying, that because they don't want to be uncomfortable. They
want us to be silent.
Exactly. Like, it's very like, well, it's okay if you protest, but you have to protest where it doesn't bother me. And
right.
Where it's like, when has it ever been okay to protest? Like, the protest in itself, you're going against the norm, you're going against like it just doesn't make sense to me that people would have the audacity to tell people how to protest and how to feel and how to like, and how to, like, you know, express their feelings or anything. It's just like, it doesn't make sense. And then people, like, I'm going back to the whole, like, these white people protesting for the opening of their cities. Like, you were in quarantine for like maybe a month, and you started feeling this way. Imagine feeling like your life is always in danger, feeling like you can't just do normal things in your day-to-day for your whole life, and you can't even deal with being at home at your freaking house for like a month. The freaking just hypocrisy, man.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen videos of of white men that are, have a knife in their hand, and there's a cop that is just like, oh no, like, oh, just just calm down, everything's gonna be all right. But then they'll pull up to our car and shoot us because they think we have something on us. Not like we have something, but they think we have something. But even if we had something, they're still gonna shoot us and kill us anyway. So it's like, people that argue against that, it's unbelievable to me. It really is. It doesn't make any sense. Is there some white? I mean, I've seen a few posts of some white people that have stepped up, that have spoken up about what's going on, and I thank you for them, because I don't want to put that label on all white folks are racist, because I don't want to do that. That's not true. But I think it's important to realize that none of them will ever understand what it's like. They won't walk in our shoes. But I have seen some good ones, bro, that have spoken up, that are protesting, that are out there, really just understanding that Black lives do matter. And maybe it took them to realize that, dang, what happened to George Floyd? Wow, that's just unbelievable. Like, I think it took some white people to realize, like, okay, yeah, I'm not doing enough, and there's some that are just speaking out, they're speaking up. And so I want to make sure I give them props too, because I don't want to put that label on all white people that they're all racist and all bad, because that's not true. It's not true at all.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that I definitely, bring out the good, because it's definitely, there is a lot of them, but like I said, there's still a lot of racism, really in any race, but we see a lot more in the white community. And it breaks my heart, bro. It really does, because once I have children, man, it's almost like I have to have that conversation with them about what it's like to be a Black man in America. And they're gonna be like, what you mean? We're just a little bit darker. There should be no difference. Like, it's like, no, it's deeper than that. It's super deeper than that. And I feel like it's gonna break my heart, but I'm ready to have that conversation, because I don't want my son to get pulled over and something happens to him, or my daughter, or even me, or anybody. Like, it's just crazy how, and I've seen videos of fathers having those conversations with their son, and just imagine just having that conversation, man, and realizing that it's not about just talking about the birds and the bees and dating advice. It's like, no, son, it's more than just that. It's, you're a Black man, and here's a whole list of what you're going to have to deal with as a Black man. I mean, just imagine that. And the white community, they will never have to have those conversations with their kids, because they will never have to go through it. They will never have to deal with what we have to deal with. And so the fact that we have to pull out a list, man, and to give them the whole breakdown and show them videos and show them articles and show them just our history of what it's like to be a Black man. Of course, I'm proud to be a Black man, but the fact that we have to do that, it's not fair. It's just not right. But I think it's important for us to educate our future children, because they're gonna have to deal with that too. Yeah. And we don't want them to be at the wrong place at the wrong time, or they're at school and they get called the N-word by a white guy, and they hear these things and they're like, Dad, why did he say this? Is that okay? Like, no, son, it's not. And they see these things and they're so innocent to the world, but then they recognize all it takes is one person to change that innocence, and they're scarred for life, or hanging around with the wrong friends and just being in the wrong circle, and realizing that circle is not for you, because let me just show you how they really are. Let me just show you how many times that I've gotten backstabbed, or maybe you've gotten backstabbed, or really anybody has gotten backstabbed. And I think it's like that conversation has to happen. Is it unfortunate? Absolutely. But I can't wait for the day to where I have that conversation, because I'm gonna be like, son, either way we can still get through this. Either way we can fight through the racism. We can fight through the injustices and the inequality, all that. Don't let the white man or any race that is racist against you pin you down, or try to just change your mindset about who you are. Like, no, that ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, man, it's crazy times, bro. Crazy times. I'm very angry. I'm super disappointed in some people that are even what I consider friends, that I go to church with, that I'm around and having to deal with, because it's like I am who I am. I show up. I do what I got to do. I show support to others, but then there's some that are quiet, that won't speak up, and it's just like, okay, now I know how you really are. And it's almost like during this time, man, it's like it makes you want to just take notes on people, take notes on who you thought was your friend or who you thought supported you, and are quiet when we're hurting, when we're dealing with some real life stuff. And just because it makes you feel uncomfortable, you just still want to be silent about it.
That's what's frustrating, man. It's the people that are quiet, the people that, they're like, well, we don't want to say anything. We don't want to say the wrong thing. We don't want to be political, whatever. It's like, is it so hard to just be like supporting your fellow human?
Yeah.
What's difficult about that? What's hard about saying I see the injustices and I support you?
Yeah.
Like, I've just seen people that are just going about their lives that are like I don't feel comfortable posting on my photography page, posting on my own personal page right now about anything that's not advocating for something more important, because like right now, like I don't care if what I'm saying is making you uncomfortable, because it needs to be said. Like,
yeah. But not hiding no more.
Yeah,
no more
man.
Hiding.
No more just letting people get the pass, Like, both of us coming from, a church background, and both being so involved in our church and stuff like that. Like, it's important that we speak up. It's important that we say something, because I feel like the church is so slow to answer to these things, and so slow to really show support. And they're afraid. I feel like the church is afraid to get political.
Yeah.
Whenever they are so political already.
It's true.
Like, if that makes sense, like they're, and like no specific names or no specific of who, but like so quick. I feel like the church as a whole is so quick to be like, be vocal about their conservative views, and that goes into politics about their policies. But when it comes to things like this, they're so quiet.
Yeah.
Or they try to be in the middle. They try to like play both sides. It's like, just a week ago, you were so on this side.
Yeah.
You were all about this and the policies and blah, blah, blah. But it's like, oh, we got to stand in the middle, make sure that we don't anger these people and anger these people. Like, we gotta be like, it's like, why is it so hard to just support the Black community in your church?
And they want to act like they are, but they're not. They want to push that narrative. Oh, we have a diverse church. People of many colors, many race, they come to our church. but yet they don't support us still. They
How are
don't
you?
side.
Yeah, yeah. How are you empowering those people?
Right.
Like, do you? It's like I understand you want a diverse church, but like, what comes after that? Like you want people, you want diversity in your church, but you like want them to fit what your church is like, you know?
Yeah.
It's just like, that doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make sense at all. And yeah, I'm just, I'm just dealing with just seeing just people just being so fake, man. And I just keep bringing that up, but it's true. And now I'm getting the chance to really just isolate myself from those people that won't benefit me in the long run, that won't benefit me in business, or that won't help me, or that won't support me. I don't have time for fake people anymore, for fake love, for fake supporters. I'd rather you just cut me off so I can be like, you know what, cool. Like, I don't have time for that. And I also too, man, I'm sure I don't know if you get this question a lot, or if you've seen this, but I get a lot of questions about, how can I support, how can I speak up for the Black community? How can I, just do my part? And then, and honestly, that question, I'm like, man, what does your heart tell you to do? If you truly care, what does your heart tell you to do? There's so many things that you can do, but will you still, like, did you even care about this before this happened? Did you even care about the racism before this? Honestly, people are treating this like a trend, to be honest with you.
Man,
people, people
I see that.
They're hashtagging away, bro, and they're like,
it's funny.
Like, okay, yeah, that's cool. I appreciate it. Thank you. Black Lives Matter. More power to you. But it's like, what would you be like next week? What would you be like next year? What would you be like 5 years, 10 years from now, when this might possibly and will probably still go on? Will you still speak up, or will you still speak up with when you're around your racist friends and you just sit there quiet because you don't want to feel uncomfortable, or in a way offend them because, oh, they're my friends? That's not their heart, though. You know what I'm saying? That's not their heart. Will you still speak up? You know what I'm saying? Like, when this doesn't become and it should always be a constant conversation, but when this kind of blows off in the wind because the news doesn't want to talk about it anymore, will you still speak up? Will you still go to, Black community events and just events that speaks and brings up what's going on in our community? Will you still do that? So yes, I appreciate you reaching out. Yes, I appreciate you speaking up, but don't just be like, well, I reposted, so I'm in the clear. You know what I'm saying? No, I put Black Lives Matter, so I'm in the clear. I texted my friend, so I texted my Black friend, so I'm in the clear. Like, no, it's more than just that. Yes, your text helps. Yes, using that hashtag helps because some people don't even want to use it. Yes, all that helps, but don't let this trend all of a sudden wake you up. But then once it kind of trends away, you just forget about that we still have to deal with this in our daily lives. Yeah. There's a lot of people that are racist that want this to blow off in the wind so that they can still do what they want to do, so that they still can be racist and still be prejudiced. Like, nah, we need to teach those people that this is not right. So if you have those friends, if you have those family members, anybody that you know, brother or sister, whatever, at your job, speak up and talk to them and be like, hey, I'm getting tired of y'all doing this. This is not right. This is not cool. Grow up. Like, we need those people to speak up for us, because we just can't have this just blow off into the wind, bro, and it not improve and progress over time. Are things getting better slowly? Yes, but I don't want this to be going up, up, and up, and then boom, we go straight back down again, and then back to square one, And so I don't want people just using hashtags, bro, just because it's a trend. I want them to use those hashtags and actually do something about it, and really, really, really support their Black community, no matter if it makes them uncomfortable, it offends your family, it offends your friends. Forget all of that. Their heart's on the right place. I hope that you talk to them and help them, but don't let them stop you from doing what's right, because they're doing what's wrong, you know?
Yeah, man. I totally agree. It's funny that, like, talking about like the hashtags and the trends, because it's funny how people were so quick to jump on this, just post a little black square on your Instagram, and then that's it. But you have not said anything else past that. You haven't, like, it was easy for you to post a little black square. It was easy for you.
Crazy. Blackout Tuesday, yeah.
Easy. Blackout Tuesday. Don't even have to talk about what it means. Don't have to say it. That's literally the hashtag. I'm not having a side. I'm just posting my little black square, and that's, you know, it's important. It's just like,
like, nah, bro.
It's like, educate yourself. Like, really, like don't. It's further than that. Like, it doesn't stop there. It doesn't stop at just like, I'm gonna go post something on social media. Like, you really gotta, like, educate yourself on a lot of things, and, like, look at history, and listen to people, and, like, be willing. And to me, it's just frustrating how quick people are to, like, come in and be like, oh, we gotta do this, or like, you gotta, like, people. It's like, how about you just sit there and listen? How about you instead of, like, trying to come up with an argument or something, why don't you just listen? Like, it's frustrating, man. And I hope that from here we're gonna really see some change, because, like, if we go silent, like, it's not gonna help. And us continuing to voice, you know, are the injustices that are happening, and, like, continue to put it in people's face.
Yeah.
Like, this is a real thing that continues to happen, and there needs to be real change. It can't stop at, like, just putting out a statement, like these companies putting out a statement. Like, what does your board look like? What is your, like, hiring, like, policy? How are you making sure that your employees of color aren't being mistreated, or, like, there isn't, like, a favoritism to white employees? How are you making sure that your community is, you know, safe from these injustices? Like we got to make sure that we don't just allow these corporate, like, entities just come in and be like, we stand with you, and that's it, and then they go back to business as usual. Or politicians, or even, like, the whole thing with, like, seeing police officers, like, taking a knee, and then 24 hours later coming back and, like, beating people up, spraying people. Like, what? Like, that's a bunch of bullcrap. Like, people are so quick to be like, well, you know, if there weren't rioting and blah blah blah, and, you know, if, like, this and that, and, like, they're not protesting correctly, and this isn't gonna get anything changed. It's like, it took all of this for there to be 4 police officers, like, detained. It took, like, hundreds of people have been arrested during these protests. And, like, it's dumb to me to allow people to continue to think, to have this privileged mindset, because like you said, you know, not all white people are racist, but all white people have white privilege.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's like, you might not be racist, but you don't understand that just because you're white, you already have, like, just a leg in, you know, up against so many people of color.
Yeah.
And
They need to use their privilege, bro, to help. If you really care, use your privilege.
educate yourself.
Step up and educate yourself, and to really reach out to people that you know that have that hatred in their hearts, and reach out to people, you know, to business owners that are hiring, but they don't have a big diversity in their staff. Like, reach out to people, but use your privilege, because obviously they don't want to listen to us, but they'll listen to the white man though. They'll clearly listen to the white man. So use your privilege then. If you really care, if you really support Black Lives Matter, use your privilege, because somebody will listen to you. They won't listen to us as much, but they'll listen to you. Will they be uncomfortable? Will they be probably mad at you? Yeah, but if you really care, use your privilege.
Exactly.
Simple as that. You know, and so it's again, when I keep bringing up the fake supporting, it's out here like that. The fake people that are supporting, yeah, they're like, well, let me just post a black square. Let me just say Black Lives Matter.
Let me go, like, just pose in front of a protest and then put it on the gram, and then that's it. And
that's it. And we've seen videos of that clearly. And so it's more than just reposting. It's more than just it's being in your community, using your privilege to show up, to show out, to speak up, to do your part. Because people like that honestly will change a lot of people's mindsets. Like, you know what, man, I wish I didn't say this, or I wish I did better. You know, I think that's important, man. It's for people to use, you know, the white man to use their privilege. It's super important, you know. And also too, to shop at local Black businesses.
Yeah, man.
Super important.
Support locally owned businesses.
Yes.
You know, and
don't let these corporations change our mindsets on stuff like that.
More importantly, locally owned, Black owned businesses.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, because, man, it's frustrating to see, and honestly really disappointing to see how many corporations are secretly behind closed doors, like, against so much in the in the Black community, and against people of color in general. Like, it's such a blanket statement to say, but it's so, but there's something there, because the way that America has reacted, and the way that a lot of these people have felt empowered by our president. Like, it's hard for me to think that you support this guy who has made statements in the recent weeks of, like, him saying these other people are good people trying to get back to normal, and then you call Black people protesting thugs, and say when the looting starts, the shooting starts. Like,
yeah,
like, we really need to be focusing on what, you know, where we're voting, where we're spending our money, what, you know, what are we supporting, like, because there's so much evil in a lot of these places, man, and politicians and corporations, and just some of these people who have a platform. Like, it blows my mind, you know.
Yeah, blows my mind too, you know. And so I'm at the point in time to where, you know, I've already started. I mean, over the years, I've been buying some Black-owned skincare, or just Black-owned anything, and really just taking an initiative of doing that more often, because it's almost, you know, we're reinvesting in our community. We're reinvesting our hard-earned money into supporting a Black man or woman that is trying to come up and to feed their families. I think that's super important, obviously providing a quality product, but also to providing them and helping them become a better business owner, just helping them with their families. I think that's super important. And so that's just another way for people to support is to shop.
And
You want some candles, there's a bunch of Black women, and Black men and women that are selling candles or essentials. Doctors, dentists. There's a lot that just goes beyond than just shoes or clothing or stuff like that. There is people that make things, quality products that can also obviously help you, but also too can bring awareness to we matter. We Black lives matter. We work hard. We put in our hard-earned money, and we still get dealt with, and we still have the white man or whoever against us, but we still fight through it. We still develop these quality products and services. And so that's I advise people that are listening is to research, ask your friends, ask whoever, go on Twitter or whatever, and just research Black-owned businesses and whatever you like, candles, skincare, I don't know, whatever you like, go buy those things and support them and share their pages, share who they are, whatever, because they need, we as a Black community, we need to support each other. But if these people want to repost and put Black squares and whatever, then show up to the stores and show up and really support us, because that's where it comes down to. That's what's most important. And I think, man, it's gonna only make, America better if we just support each other, stop the hate, but just support each other. I think that's where it comes down to, man. Seriously. So it takes the white man to use their privilege, bro, to speak that truth in others. We can do it all day. So will some people change and they'll become a better person? Yes. But we need the white community to talk to each other. Be like, look, we need to stop this. There's no reason for this. We watch them. What's crazy to me and scary to me, bro, is that they'll watch us on TV, on sports, and they'll cheer us on, but then they see us in the streets and they want to kill us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just how it is. They want to say our names. They want to say, oh man, so and so balled out today, blah blah blah. But then they see us on the streets and they want to say, why is there a Black man in my neighborhood running? Or why, you know what I'm saying? Why is there a Black man mowing so and so's yard or whatever? Like you want to support us in sports, but you want to down us in reality, in real life, and in person. It's not. It's shows you a lot of how fake love and fake support. It's not genuine out here.
I think it shows like
scary too. That's what's really scary.
What?
That's super scary to me.
Yeah, because it's like, and that's the whole thing of like trying to make people understand that like Black lives matter, that they are more than just your entertainment. They're more than just your favorite artist, your favorite. It's like they're so quick to rap along, sing along, watch whatever sport, watch whatever movie, and be like, that's my favorite actor, that's my favorite artist, that's my favorite basketball player, like NFL player, soccer player, like, but then turn around and like you said, and be like, why is so-and-so, here or whatever, like, oh man, I'm scared for my life because there's a Black man here or there's a minority. It's like, you weren't scared to watch them on TV though. Yeah,
right. Or you weren't scared to listen to the music.
Yeah.
You weren't scared to listen to hip hop or R&B. Like, you wasn't scared to listen to that.
It's crazy. And I think, you know, people, like you said, need to support uh, locally Black-owned businesses. People need to show up for those things. People need to educate themselves. And man, it's a privilege to get to educate yourself and not have to live through it.
Yeah.
So like, it's simple. Like, we have the entirety of knowledge available to us. It's not like we're living in the 1800s where, you know, you have to wait for someone to, you know, write a book or something, and then you have to go through the trouble. Like, go to the internet, watch documentaries, go to Netflix.
A
Like,
lot of Netflix.
there's so much there for you don't have to do anything. You don't have to go anywhere. You can literally sit at home in the comfort and safety of your own home. And like, to me, it blows my mind that people are still like so ignorant about things, when it's like there's so much for you to be able to learn from it. And I think a really great documentary that people could check out is the 13th on Netflix. Super powerful. Just talks about the 13th Amendment and how in reality there's such a crazy loophole in that amendment that it's what caused the prison systems in the US to really it's like it restarted slavery. And so it's a great documentary. They talk in detail about why it's important that we are watching out for these corporations and how they get involved in politics, and how policies are brought up and made, and just how we're at where we're at because of things that white people have done since back in the day. And it's just crazy, man. And it's frustrating. I just want to see change, man. I want to see real change happen.
Yeah, that's at the end of the day, man, I just want that to happen. You know, all these culture vultures out here that, you know, want to be like us, but don't want to know what it's like to be us. You know, y'all need to come out, step up, and really understand what it's like to be a Black man. You know, you want to listen to our music and you want to rap it, you know, you want to do this and that, but then you want to speak out against us, and you want to say the N word, and then you want to do this and that, and like, but you don't want to be us. You just want to be like us. Like, nah, I don't work that way. You know, and so that's where we need to really find those people that are silent, the ones that are exposing who they really are, and to just really just speak nothing but truth and life into them about what it's like to be a Black man and what you will have to go through. You won't understand. You'll never understand. But let me just teach you a little history lesson of what it's like. And that's, yeah, like you said, there's plenty of movies on Netflix. If you really want to educate yourself, you ain't got no excuse. You ain't got to pay no money. You just go on Netflix, and there's plenty of documentaries, plenty of movies to watch, because the history is in the palm of our hands, bro. Either you do what you can to learn it, or you can be stuck in your own ways and just don't care. You know, and that's
how history repeats itself.
Yeah, that's where things need to change. Educate yourself, learn, go out and support, buy from local Black-owned businesses, you know, share their business. I mean, refer their business. I mean, there's so many things you can do. But don't just sit at home, be lazy, repost, hashtag, and not doing anything about it. Because your true self will be revealed once things like this don't continue to be talked about. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, it's tough times, bro. You know, I it's sad to see people, how they are, their reactions to things. It's also good to see people that have reached out, have supported. The ones that I thought were going to be silent, but they actually said something. I mean, there's so many good things about people during this, but I definitely want to focus a lot on the people that are not speaking out, that are not doing anything, and really teach them and educate them. I think that's important as well. And just doing something about it, man. Yeah, I'm all about love. I'm all about peace, happiness. It's hard to be that right now, obviously, but you got to keep pushing that narrative because I think it's important today. We're not going to back down as a Black community. We're not going to back down just because a white man hates us. We're not going to do that. We're going to keep fighting. We're going to keep fighting. We're going to keep fighting until the majority, if not hopefully all, understands what it's like, and they can at least just get a glimpse of what it is to be a Black man in America, man. But man, I feel like we touched on a lot. I feel like we definitely, just talked about just the things that are going on social media, the church, and just our friends and family and whoever. I think I just pray for others, man, that are just so wicked and have so much hate that they just really start to realize that God didn't create us to be like this. God made us so different that we should still love each other. Just because we have a different skin color does not mean that we're just different. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're all the same. We just have a different shade, we all come from different cultures, but that doesn't mean that they can't blend in and be great together. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm just praying for just this peace, bro. Just peace on this world, man, and just understanding and just a glimpse. Because it's a lot of scary people out here, bro. Like a lot. And I just hope things get better, man. But I know it's gonna take time. We just gotta keep pushing. We gotta keep getting out there, man, and telling the truth, whether it hurts them or not. Who cares? No more time for just that. Oh, I don't want to hurt you. Like, nah. It's all about, here's the truth. Sit down and listen. Don't say nothing. It's all about that. And so, I mean, that's kind of what I had to say, man. Like, Eric, I don't know if you wanted to end it off in a certain way, but.
No, I mean, just reiterating what you said. Support your locally Black-owned businesses. Educate yourself. Speak out. Like, it's not enough to be not racist. You have to be anti-racist. Like, speak out against people in your circle, in your family. If you hear something, don't let it just sneak by. It's not just a joke. Like, speak out. Like, we have to stick together right now and just be in solidarity with the Black community, and just whatever we can do in our own power, like, just continue to push until change happens, because we're on their neck right now, and we just got to keep going.
So, Eric, bro, I appreciate you, man. I'm glad we had the opportunity and the time to do this.
Absolutely, man.
And then for everybody watching, we apologize for taking so long. We couldn't stay silent on this one, that's for sure. We had to, life happened, we've been busy, but we couldn't just not post a podcast and post our thoughts on what's going on. I think we were anxious and ready to do it because it was time to speak out and really, do our best to explain and to just give out information, man, of what it's like. And so we appreciate y'all for tuning in. Please do whatever you can to just teach people, and to just support local Black-owned businesses, and to really talk to those people that are just ignorant to the situation, ignorant to what's going on, and to really just speak life and truth, and also just let them see what's going on. And so that's all I gotta say. Like I said, Eric, bro, appreciate you, man. We're still gonna do this podcast, y'all, so don't worry.
We're coming back.
We're coming back.
you know, we're heavy this week, but we need it to be. We're not going to apologize for that. So, you know, check the link in the description. We'll have a bunch of resources there for you guys, a bunch of documentaries you can watch, and just keep pushing, guys. Let's keep talking about it. Let's not just let it be just a trend and just forget about it in a month. Like, you know, we gotta keep going. We gotta keep voicing and vote. Don't forget to vote.
Yeah, don't forget to vote. So, all right, y'all.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.